Fam, what's going on? It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Today is Tuesday. Today is December 10th. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here on the show. Today we're talking transfer portal news. Got some weekend visitors up in the house. Going to talk about some season superlatives on the offensive side. Going to talk about some roster management. And talk about who else could transfer, right? Appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate you guys joining the late show last night as well. That was fun. Had a good time. It felt a little bit more informal, right? It's the evening time, kind of letting our hair down a little bit. I appreciate you guys being here up in the house. We also have T up in the house.
Good morning, everyone.
T is producing today, which I greatly appreciate. Angel's asking about the schedule. We could dive into that later on inside the comment box. I might open up kind of the back end, if you guys just want to do a Q&A type session. So keep you posted on that. I was thinking about, and while I let everybody get checked in, we got 90 up in the house. I appreciate you guys being here. For whatever reason, if you hit the thumbs up, not inside the comment box, but literally on the video, it helps the video's performance. So I appreciate you guys. I was thinking about this while I let everybody get checked in. So just now, as you saw on First Take, AJ DeBasta, right, the number one player in basketball, just announced that he is going to BYU. I've read reports that this NIL deal, he's the highest NIL player in this kind of new era of paid sports, right? I think it's floating around somewhere between $5 and $4 million that he got paid to go to BYU. Stephen Smith asked him, why BYU? And he talks about the coaches and this and that. But we all know that it's money related, right? I mean, goes to the highest bidder, right? Saying $4 million offer. I heard $5 million offer, right? So I was thinking about this. And check this out. This is the new era of college athletics. It's not, this is pro, right? Bryce Underwood, he's going to Michigan because there was an offer, what was it, $12 million over 4 years? And now you have AJ DeBasta, right? The two number one players are going to the places that were the highest bidded. You see what I'm saying? And I'd be curious to understand because, and look, Alabama was right in the mix. But at the end of the day, my question is, how much money is there that goes around? You see what I'm saying? So and I don't think we'll ever really understand this, at least not now. But is there like $20 million that the university right now has that to pay their players? And then how much is Ryan Williams getting? Is he getting $2 million? Is he getting $4 million? Is he getting more than that? How much is Jalen Milroe getting, right? It would be interesting to see kind of the salary cap and who's getting paid what and how much money that you have to work with. And GP, I 100% agree with you inside the comment box. Yeah, there's no way that he stays 4 years, right? Each of these guys, and what's interesting as well, you could throw in Ryan Williams. So Ryan Williams, DeBasta, right? And then also Underwood. All those guys reclassified. They were all, think about this, they were all supposed to be in the class of 2026? That's crazy. Todd is saying, right, they have $20 million. Is that right? And then you go from there, right? So you have $20 million and you kind of work your way through that. Appreciate it, Todd. Wild. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at, which leads us to the continuation of the transfer portal. And I think there's a few targets in there. I would stay close to your recruiting sites, whether you're a 24/7 guy or Rivals or On3. Those are the guys, who obviously have the scoop and they do a great job, with recruiting or transfer portal. The great thing about the transfer portal is it's all fluid. Not a lot of people have the real scoop on it. But as you know, players leave and players come to visit, and then players come to the transfer portal. Before we get kind of into a couple weekend visitors, and there might be a couple more. So if there's a couple more, go ahead, and drop them inside the comment box, and we'll take it as it comes. But one thing I was thinking about, because I do like KC Conception and I do like Luke Haas, okay? I was watching each of their highlight tapes, and we'll go over them this morning. Those are two targets that will be in town this weekend. Brock is saying Kelby Collins is visiting. Okay, I hadn't seen that one. Is Kelby Collins? I don't know. I'll have to look at. I haven't seen that one. The two that I've seen so far have been on the offensive side. So we'll do a little bit more research and see who else is coming in. But the thing I was thinking about before we go to the weekend visitors is the fact that Coach Kalen DeBoer, he had a pretty good hit rate in terms of transfers, right? Think about the transfers that he brought in. I mean, I feel that there was only a couple transfers that he brought in that we really didn't see much of this past season, and it's because those guys were kind of in a reserve role. For example, like Cam Howard and King Mack are the two guys that I felt were guys who didn't really play that much this year. Maybe even, I guess you could see Geno Vandermark, but he got a lot of snaps. So let's quickly run through the transfers, right? Keon Sabb, he was a starter. Kane Proctor came in as a starter. Graham Nicholson, starter at kicker. Jeremy Bernard, starter at wide receiver. Parker Brailsford, started at center. Damani Jackson. Well, Damani Jackson was part of Coach Saban's.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah,
but still, but he put him in a starting role. Austin Mack didn't really play. But, reserve role. Same thing with King Mack and Cam Howard. But he had a pretty good hit rate in the transfer portal. And, look, I get it. The next guys coming in are always better than the guys that are leaving. I'm telling you. Does it hurt to lose Kobe? Does it hurt to lose Kendrick Law and Caleb Odom? Yeah, of course. But you will be really pleased with KC, his highlight tape. I promise you. I posted a video yesterday, and I linked his ACC highlights. I'm not gassing you up. You will be really impressed if Alabama is able to get him. I have no idea. He's a slot wide receiver. We'll talk about him in just a second. And same thing with this Luke Haas. I think he's very comparable to CJ Dupree with more physicality and a little bit more playmaking ability. So you could have a more athletic CJ Dupree and a guy that can make plays like Josh Cuevas. So I think you get two tight ends next year, Josh Cuevas, and if you were able to get Luke Haas. Now, these guys have to commit to Alabama first. Max Tooney's already asking for and Jarvis is saying KC reception. I like that. Okay. We're also going to talk about season superlatives from the offensive standpoint, and then we'll do defense superlatives on Wednesday. Okay, and I want some feedback here. And then talk more about roster management. T, I think we got offensive line in, right? Mm-hmm. All right, we got offensive line in. So away we go, and let's start with one of the weekend visitors as we get to transfer portal news. All right, so here are the guys that are leaving the University of Alabama. And to be honest, we're always watching for guys to hit the portal. And I would anticipate more guys leave before the transfer portal window is closed. I think it goes past Christmas or something like that. So you have a lot of times going. And Lamondo, I haven't seen that Kelby Collins is visiting, but a couple people put that inside the comment box. So if I get confirmation on that, I'll bring that too. But it looks like he is because a bunch of people have brought that to my attention. So we're going to talk about the two on the offensive side. We'll do defensive tomorrow. So I appreciate you bringing that to the comment box. And that's Kelby Collins. I think he's from Florida, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to dive more into it. So thank you so much for bringing that. I haven't seen guys even from the transfer portal that I'm like completely like, oh, man. I think I kind of look to what could be with Caleb Odom. But these other guys, I think, they're interchangeable. Keanu Cole, I kind of look what could have been. Kendrick Law, I think, it is what it is. Kobe Prentice, good player, but man, like I kind of look at some of the young guys and wish they would just be a little bit more patient. I don't get really upset about the veterans leaving, but the younger guys, I think they need to wait to see how a new quarterback could operate the system. Concepcion, I like it. What's up, Spirit of Truth? I appreciate you being here. Gelato, what's going on, man? I appreciate it. Hayden saying 309 and only 53 likes. Yeah, get the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Hayden, keep working the people. All right, so let's talk about KC Concepcion. All right, transfer portal. And so what's cool, if you go to On3, their transfer portal page that they've built, this is another reason that I like to run with On3 when I talk about kind of the interface. I feel that they're way ahead in terms of the things that they're able to build. Okay, I'm not paid by On3, Rivals, 24/7, but they have what's cool? They have a transfer portal ranking system. So the players, I think there's been over almost 1,000 people in the transfer portal. So when I talk about Coach Kalen DeBoer recruiting and having a high hit rate in the transfer portal, this guy's the number 2 overall player in the transfer portal. I don't know who number 1 is. I just, when I was doing research, I looked at KC Concepcion and saw that he was number 2. That kind of shows you the type of talent that Coach Kalen DeBoer is aggressively going after. I'll tell you what, Jamarcus Shepard, I think that guy is outstanding. And I think any wide receiver would be blessed to be able to be coached by him. I think he has the fire. I think he has the energy. I think he'd probably be a future head coach down the road. And I think once you get in here and you kind of understand his philosophy and that mentality that it brings from wanting you to be the best. And I think that's why I kind of go back to Caleb Odom is like, man, I really feel they could have developed him here. 1,200 people, 1,200. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. 1,200 players in the transfer portal. That is wild.
Yeah, I think it was 1,000 last night.
So 1,000 yesterday and 12. That is just, wow, that is crazy. So this guy's number 2. So that shows you the talent. Now, of course, he's going to go to some other places to, maybe see if that's a better fit for him. But I'm telling you, the selling points here are, I would imagine, Coach Kalen DeBoer's offensive philosophy once he gets a quarterback in here that can work the system. And there was somebody, I was just reading the comment box, and I get it. Whenever you talk about Milroe, it's a polarizing topic. But let's call it what it is, right? Like, it was a quarterback that could run the offense based off his skill set, but not under Coach Kalen DeBoer's true offensive identity, right? When you get a quarterback that can mix it all over the field, it's going to be a different feel for the entire offense, right? Nothing against Milroe. He's going to go to the NFL, whenever he announces that, or, if he decides to come back, which I highly doubt. But that's what it was. I mean, let's be honest. So I think when you look to Alabama's offense next year and the true identity of Coach Kalen DeBoer's offense can really shine, wide receivers are going to eat, and specifically this young man as well. Another guy that we're looking at is Jeremy Bernard, and I think that has to play along with KC Concepcion. I'm asking those questions. Who's going to be the quarterback next year? What's the quarterback battle going to look like? Is Jeremy Bernard coming back? I think you could still have Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams, and KC in here. I really do. I mean, they used a slot wide receiver a lot this year. You look at Cole Adams. You look at, Cole Adams kind of overtook Kobe Prentice. But I think 3 to 4 wide receivers could eat, along with some tight ends and the running backs. 5'11", 187 pounds. It tells you he's a slot-type wide receiver. In 2024, 53 receptions for 406 yards with 6 touchdowns. And the year in 2023, 64 catches, 764 yards, and 10 touchdowns. You know what? As a true freshman, those numbers are just a little bit behind Ryan Williams' numbers as a true freshman. He was the ACC Freshman of the Year. Think about what I just said. So he had a monster freshman year, okay? And his highlights are absolutely outstanding. Jason, we'll talk about roster management, and we'll show you a graphic that we updated of the wide receiver room. And that's going to be an interesting question. I think if you want to play wide receiver here, you're going to have to absolutely come with it in all facets of the game. Now, Coach Kalen DeBoer did provide a positive update regarding Jalen Hill, and he said that he's starting to move around, and while he's not going to play in the upcoming bowl game, he's making some progress. This is notable. T, did you get that tweet?
Which one?
The one on Eric Gilbert.
Oh, let's see.
Maybe if we can put would you guys be interested in Eric Gilbert? Is there too much kind of going on with Eric Gilbert? For whatever reason, I always get excited about these, tight end type wide receiver guys, and often than not, it doesn't work out for whatever reason here at Alabama. I was excited about Amari Knight. I was excited about Jaleel Billingsley. I thought maybe even Caleb Odom could be that type of a player. Eric Gilbert, I don't know. Are we interested, right, in Eric Gilbert? It looks like people are. Just because of what he brings to the table. Like Eric Gilbert, I think he was he's another guy that is transferred all over the place, right? Yeah, LSU, Georgia, Nebraska. Based on his skill set, and I know during his recruiting process, Alabama was interested in him. There was some back and forth. So I don't know if it's an off the field deal or if he hasn't found where he's at, but yeah, Eric Gilbert, I guess, is in the transfer portal as of 20 minutes ago. See, Brock is saying that he's bad news. And that's kind of, I don't know this for sure, but the rumors kind of seem to be that he might be like a problem in the locker room. So Eric Gilbert, just another guy that hit the portal. I have no idea if there's any interest between Alabama and Eric Gilbert, but Casey Concepcion will be in Tuscaloosa, from my understanding, this week, along with a tight end I'm about to show you. And it looks like there's another player from Florida, Kelby Collins. Will we write that down so we can dive into that? But I ain't seen that so far, so I appreciate you guys bringing that to my attention. And we'll talk about him tomorrow, Kelby Collins, and any other names that pop up. Lynn Shennyfield, what's up, man? Inside the comment box, he says, not sold on Milroe is going anywhere. He will make more money at Alabama than his rookie year. See, that, and that's the thing, too, is with the wide receivers' departures, and I know you guys don't like to talk about this, maybe they know something that we don't know. Because as I continue to say, if I'm KC, who's going to be the quarterback next year? And what does the wide receiver room look like? And a lot of people excited about Kelby Collins. I think he's, if I remember, might be from Alabama. Again, I haven't done research on Kelby, so I'm not going to speak about him until I kind of dive into it a little bit. Yeah, I think he's from Alabama, if I'm not mistaken, like a couple years ago, recruiting. Rich B, what's up, man? See you inside the comment box. Alabama will also entertain Luke Haas. I always give you guys homework. I'm having you guys do homework on the outside tackle position. Yeah, Gardendale. Okay, that's why it sounds familiar. So homework is to watch KC Concepcion's highlights. I want you guys to evaluate Luke Haas. I watched his highlights. I am really impressed with him. If Alabama gets him, like getting KC would be amazing, but you have a lot of wide receivers, as we're going to showcase you. You need a tight end. 100. I don't know if you need a wide receiver, to be honest. Like if you miss on him, I'm not bummed. I'm excited if he comes. But if you get this tight end, I'm excited. I think you need a tight end. I really do. You're losing three right now. Robbie Oots, CJ Dupree to graduation, NFL, and Danny Lewis to the transfer portal. So you have coming back Josh Cuevas, who I love, but I think you need another guy that brings a physicality component, and that is Luke Haas. So according to On3, he's a number 3 transfer portal tight end. He'll be a redshirt sophomore this year. 6'3", 241 pounds. Physical, very physical dude. I'm telling you, every single time he catches a pass, and he has a lot of athleticism. Think about, he's more athletic than CJ Dupree, and he's more physical. I'm telling you, every single time he catches it, he's one of those tight ends. He catches it and he puts his shoulder down. He runs over people continually. I think he would be a great addition paired up with Josh Cuevas. Raise the Bar says Concepcion would be like a ride-out type wide receiver they had with Tua. He could be. I'm telling you, one of your homework assignments is to watch his ACC highlights. Fantastic. Greg Borehater, what's up, says Ryan Williams turned down several NIL offers at other programs. I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't be surprised. You know he's getting fed here by Alabama. His brand has been increased. The guy is Alabama. He got a tattoo yesterday that we showed. And it says raw on his leg. Like, Ryan Williams isn't going anywhere. That guy is all Alabama. Bama Red, I think we'll cover defensive players tomorrow, leading off with Kelby Collins, who everybody in the chat has brought to my attention. We'll also be visiting. I think he's was at Florida, and someone said out of Gardendale. So we'll talk about him tomorrow. So I know that 2 people on offense are coming in, and it looks like Kelby Collins would be the additional one. So I appreciate your guys' help as well. And again, stay close to all your recruiting sites. Those guys do a great job in terms of this period. And turn on your notifications, because there's always news that is dropping, like Eric Gilbert now in the transfer portal. And according to Hayes Fawcett on Twitter, he says, here's one. This is Bear Alexander update. Tells On3 that these schools are standing out to him. Penn State, Oregon, and SMU. Here comes the Pony Express. Yo, Dallas has money, right? And I saw that their quarterback, did you see this? Jalen Daniels, SMU's quarterback, he's coming back because he reached a new deal with SMU. A new deal. He's getting, like, they reached a new deal. That's why I wonder, what's going on right now with talks with some of these players that could leave or come back. Greg, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much. Professional certified hater, what's up, man? Missouri just lost their 5-star edge commit from last year. Ooh, interesting. You need some of those, right? And we're going to look at roster management today. Probably spend more time today on the offense. And then I think tomorrow we'll turn the page to defense. We're talking about some transfer portal targets that'll be in here. And then we're going to talk about some offensive season superlatives. And I would love some feedback on this. And thank you so much, Bama Red. I really appreciate the compliments. One of the things that we try to do here at Bama Football on YouTube is give you aesthetics, right, from the graphics, from the show flow, so it makes sense to you. And we also upload these to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts. We don't have a lot of people that subscribe on podcasts, which is cool. It's a work in progress, just like anything else, right? Rich B, you're right. SMU, the Metroplex. If Dallas starts, because they're coming in with this NIL. What about and I know we have a lot of people that just joined the show. And as I was saying in the back end of the show, think about 3 things, okay? Jalen Daniels just reaches a new deal with SMU, money. Bryce Underwood signing with Michigan, money. AJ DeBasta, the number 1 player in basketball, signing with BYU, money. I wonder what Alabama offered him, because Alabama was certainly in play. Hey, Sigma, what's up, man? The show flow. Yeah, for sure. It's important to us. Southern Red, what's going on? Glenn, good morning to you. Glenn is saying, do you think we try to get a quarterback out of the portal? I don't think so. We're going to talk roster management, and we will have graphics on the screen that kind of show you this year's quarterback roster and next year's what it's looking like. And as news happens, we're always updating the graphics and informing you in terms of roster management. So if you're just here, you have 2 transfer portal visitors on the offensive side. Casey Concepcion out of North Carolina State. And you also have Luke Haas, who is a transfer out of Arkansas. One of the things that I was looking at when I was doing research on Luke Haas is he said that one of the main reasons that he committed to Arkansas was Sam Pittman. If you haven't seen, if you don't know about Sam Pittman and he's coming back for Arkansas, I get it. It's a tough place to coach. I don't know. SEC's every spot is tough to coach, but Coach Saban wanted Sam Pittman here. He seems like just a good guy. I would like to play for him, You know what? In the podcast, that was our bad. I'll upload the next episode faster. All right. So those are 2 guys, and it looks like you have Kelby Collins also coming in. Thanks to you guys. I appreciate it. I'll get that updated for tomorrow's show. Thank you so much. Okay. What I'd like is some feedback real quick, back and forth. And I was thinking about this, kind of some offensive superlatives, and then after this, we'll go over roster management. We'll showcase graphics of quarterback room, running back room, receivers, and offensive line today. So real quick, and T, if I can get your help inside the comment box, we'll start with the offensive MVP. Let's just throw out a couple names. You guys vote on the offensive MVP. Who is the offensive MVP this year for the Alabama Crimson Tide? I think it comes down, honestly, to 2 people. I'll set the stage, and if you want to add someone else, but to keep it easy, who is the offensive MVP MVP this year for Alabama? Jalen Milroe or Ryan Williams? I think the right. I mean, who else could it be? I mean, maybe you could. Jeremy Bernard, I guess he would probably be in third place, but you guys answer inside the comment box in terms of offensive MVP. Oh, you know what? Tyler Booker. Add Tyler Booker in there. Yeah. So, So new. Maybe just add a quick poll, and we'll do these super fast. Ryan Williams, Tyler Booker, or Jalen Milroe in terms of your offensive MVP. And I think fourth place would probably be Jeremy Bernard. But I think it'll come down to either Ryan Williams or Jalen Milroe. And I think if I had to vote, I would say Jalen Milroe based on the overall production that he had for the team and how the offense operated. Whether it was good or bad, he was the guy. So I think, like Buck is saying, it's going to be Milroe 100%. Jay Baker's throwing in James Burnham. All right. Vote real quick. We'll keep it open for like 2 minutes, and then we'll cruise down to position group of the year. But I think when you look to what Milroe did over the entire course of the season, he has the production. Ryan Williams had a lot of production as a freshman, clearly, and he might be up for our last award that we're giving out, which is the best offensive player of the year. But in terms of the overall offensive MVP, I think you definitely got to go with Jalen Milroe. What is the early vote saying, T?
Milroe.
Yeah, 100%. This is the easiest one that we have.
Ryan Williams is kind of close.
Oh, 100%. And look, Ryan Williams kind of towards the back end kind of had, kind of tapered off a little bit. Didn't have a huge and look, he had a touchdown called back, him and Milroe against Oklahoma. I still can't even believe that play happened. He dropped a couple passes. He dropped a touchdown pass, I think, against Auburn, but I think it's 100% Milroe. Okay, next up, let's do position group of the year. Position group of the year.
You want to poll?
No, just this one can just be a question. Position group of the year. So you got, outside of quarterbacks, you got to go with, was it the running back room? Was it the tight end room? The offensive line? Maybe specialists? Michael's asking if Nick Sheridan's going to remain the offensive coordinator. Oh, yeah. Unless Ryan Grubb comes back, right? And be like, Daddy's home. That would be crazy. If Ryan Grubb came back, would he be the offensive coordinator? He's not going to, but if he would, I would imagine that he would be the OC. And I'm asking the offensive position group of the year. I think, you know what? I think I'm going to say, wide receiver, there's only 2 wide receivers. Running back, you could go with offensive line, but then you look at the right side, it wasn't complete. I'm going to go with the running back room for the offensive superlatives, the position group of the year. And this is why, okay? What's that?
Yeah.
No, but this is why. I'm not picking the wide receivers because it was just two guys. I'm not picking the offensive line because it wasn't complete. I don't think the right guard and the right tackle, right tackle underperformed. Right guard I feel wasn't healthy. But I think with the running backs, look, it was a 3. Maybe it wasn't a 3-headed, but we saw a lot of production when those guys, we saw a lot of positive things when those guys had opportunities. Pat is like, I don't like this question. Running back is the answer, though. I know it's a hard, right? I'm going because look, Jam, Justice, Richard. All right. Position group of the year. All right. Surprise offensive player of the year. Who do you think, T? Surprise offensive player of the year. I know who I'm going to go with. Surprise offensive player of the year. I'm going to go with Josh Cuevas.
I like that.
Right?
Yeah, I like that.
I'm going to go for Josh Cuevas.
Or, what's his name, Young?
Richard Young? Mm-hmm. Well, I expected Richard Young to be good, but I think the surprise was Josh Cuevas. Now, he didn't get a lot of opportunities, but he made plays. I think of some of the late season catches that he had. I think of the touchdown that he caught against Wisconsin. Ooh, Hollywood. Ooh, yeah. I think it's Ryan.
Yeah, because
it's Ryan.
Good, but not that.
Yeah,
good.
You're right. It's Ryan.
Yeah.
I think it's Ryan, and then Josh. You
Yeah.
guys are right.
Yeah. Ooh,
So-
Jeremy too, though.
Yeah, it goes like this. It goes Ryan, Jeremy, Josh Cuevas.
Yeah.
So I was wrong. You guys are right.
Yeah.
Oh, Cole Adams too.
Yeah.
He would probably be under Bernard, like 4th
He
place.
didn't get hurt.
Damn, but like that's the thing. If you go back and kind of were wondering how good Ryan Williams would be, I don't think we understood that he would be. Some people obviously did, right? I think even sometimes his grandpa watches the show. But man, those guys, he was 10 times better than what I thought he'd be. And that's not a knock on him. He was just like phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right. Let's see. Best freshman of the year. Oh, how about best offensive transfer? Do we list Caden Proctor here? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Jeremy Bernard, Parker Brailsford, or Graham Nicholson, or Josh Cuevas, or Gino Vandermark. Jeremy?
Mm-hmm.
For best transfer on offense.
Yes.
I don't. Juice games. All of Kai's picks are from road to glory. Nobody deserves any superlatives this season in real life. What's up, Juice Gaines? Appreciate you. I think Brailsford. It was such a big transformation from the 2 centers.
Yeah,
That's why I'm going with Brailsford. But I think a lot of people choosing Bernard. Okay. Brailsford was damn good, but a lot of offensive linemen don't get the notoriety that they deserve, right? Right? That's why we're never talking about offensive linemen. Okay. Let's do best freshman, clearly Ryan Williams. That's too easy. Who would be the second freshman on offense? Who's like your next in line freshman after Ryan Williams? What, Rico Scott? I mean, I guess you can't say Caleb Odom anymore. See, Lamondo inside the comment box. That's what I'm getting at. You didn't hear Parker Brailsford's name like in vain. I mean, the guy did a good job. He went out there and snapped the football and protected when he could. But in terms of freshmen, I don't know other than Ryan Williams on the offensive side. Who's the second freshman on offense? Richard Young. Was Richard Young a redshirt freshman? I don't think he was a true freshman, right? I mean, I think he was a redshirt freshman, right? If you're talking redshirt or freshman, then it's absolutely Richard Young, 100%.
It just says freshman.
No, but I don't think he was class of 2024. No, Cook, I'm talking just for the offensive side. But, yeah, obviously, Xavier Brown will be the freshman next when we talk about it tomorrow. Okay, how about this one? Offensive assistant coach of the year. I'm going to go with offensive assistant coach of the year. To me it's either Kapilovic or Jamarcus Shepard. Probably Shepard, right? I'm going to go with Shepard, and then I'm going to go with Kapilovic, and then I guess Sheridan.
Yeah.
Right? Sheridan's kind of like, it's got to be tough being the OC in DC here, man. But I think Jamarcus Shepard is that guy, right? Ricky Smith's like none.
A lot of people are saying that.
People don't know about Coach Kapilovic, but John in Florida is like none of them. No, Shepard's good, John. Shepard's a good coach. Okay, last one before we start talking roster management. All right, what was your favorite play? Your favorite offensive play? Ooh, Courtney Morgan. That's an interesting one because he's not offense or defense. That's a good. He might just be. He's the GM of the year, right? Okay, last one. What was your favorite offensive play?
Mine was Ryan Williams' catch in the Georgia game.
But which one?
Yeah,
the bobble?
the one where he made the two guys collide. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say that one. The other plays that stand out to me was Justice Haynes touchdown run when he put his head down and smashed that dude and then took off. That was another great play. I think that let's try to think about.
Williams.
Yeah, and what made the Ryan Williams play so dynamic was the magnitude of that game and the fact that Georgia had just taken the lead, right? So Ryan Williams comes through. That is 1,000,000% the play of the season, right? Yeah, the Sunflower Bakery. What's up? I appreciate you being here. Saying Williams catch to put Bama back up on top. I mean that play was it was jaw dropping. Right, we're gonna remember that play up there with some of the best plays ever for Alabama. Daniel Hill's long run. Darian says that collision. That's what I'm saying. The Justice Haynes one. That was definitely memorable for sure.
Ryan
Williams
made him. The two guys hit.
Yeah. Milroe's long run against South Florida. Jalen's run against LSU too when he topped out at 22 miles an hour. That's crazy. I think the fastest in the NFL this season has been 23 miles an hour. Just to give you an idea. John in Florida, his favorite. Same thing. I brought that up. Haynes trucking the defender. Right. Williams dagger to Georgia. Yeah, good ones. Okay. Let's talk about some roster management real quick. So we've been working on these graphics in-house for a while, and we're going to show you the offense, what it could look like next season. Now, of course, this is fluid because people come in, people go out of the transfer portal, and there's different changes to players going in the NFL. So we'll show you 2024, like right now, and then we'll show you what it could look like next season. We'll go back and forth, and tomorrow on our Wednesday show, we'll do the defensive side. Okay, so here's what the quarterback room looks like right now. Now you have Milroe, Simpson, Lonergan, Ostomac. And again, all of the graduation years coincide with the players that are represented on the screen. Okay, so here's your quarterback room. We don't, and to be detailed on this, we didn't list players who are walk-ons. Okay, and as you'll see, and if you have, if you see an omission, for example, like on the offensive line, there's a lot of guys to go through. Please let us know, and we'll get it updated for our next show. Okay, so this is the quarterback room. Here's what the quarterback room could look like in 2025. Okay, we have no idea if any of these guys are going to transfer out, but let's say Milroe leaves. Of course, we could. I mean, who's to say? And this is with Milroe leaving. Now, if Milroe comes here, then you have a lot of quarterbacks. I would imagine that one of these guys does transfer. And somebody asked earlier if Alabama will take a transfer quarterback. I said no. I don't know that for sure, but I would highly doubt it. Ty's clearly capable. He's been here. He's waiting. I guess on the other coin, you could say, is he really capable? Coach Kalen DeBoer didn't play him that much. And he could have. He's been here for a long time and hasn't been able to beat out Jalen Milroe. That's just both sides of the coin. Both sides of the coin with Dylan Lonergan. Great athlete. He's behind Ty Simpson. He's not a Coach Kalen DeBoer guy, was brought into the system. Could he leave? Let me ask you, so maybe we're on the same page, and don't let me, what I'm saying, affect your answer. Which quarterback, number one, do you think a quarterback will transfer? Yes or no? Can you add that, T? And you could take down that poll too. No, I just answer it just general. Hey, raise the bar. We touched on that at the beginning of the show. AJ DeMasta committing to BYU. Yeah, $4 million, $5 million. I mean, Underwood went where the money was. DeMasta went where the money was. This is college football now. In college athletics now. It's pro. So people are saying yes to a quarterback hitting the transfer portal. Me too. I think it's going to be Dylan Lonergan. I have no intel, no real insight on that. It just seems to me like he's going to be the guy to leave. But it seems like I have a lot of people that are agreeing with that. Just because, it makes sense. Like Austin Mack, Coach Kalen DeBoer, like that system, Keelan Russell just being brought in. Sometimes the writing's on the wall. And I agree, Jarvis. I think Keelan is the guy that can operate this offense at the highest level under Coach Kalen DeBoer. I would imagine there's a hell of a battle next year for quarterback. I really do that. I'll go on receipts on saying that. Lonergan came in, I think it was like a couple seasons ago, and he had a really nice spring game. I don't think anyone's denying, that he's not capable. He just might not fit this system. Look at Eli Holsting. He had a great season with Pittsburgh. Okay, this is the running back room right now. So, I'm sorry, for 2025. If you're looking for 2024, just put your hand over AK Deer. Let me ask you here. I know this is going to be touchy. Do you think a running back hits a transfer portal? Do you think a running back hits a transfer portal? Oh, man, I don't know. T, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, yes, if Milroe stays.
Javion, what's up, man? I appreciate you. Kyle, is really Coach Kalen DeBoer's offense. Yeah, I don't think we've really seen the true offense yet. I think they're continuing to be they're building up to what the offense could be. Depends on, and think about it. I don't think Milroe has until somewhere in January to decide. It would make sense, I guess. Look, if I'm picking the guys that I want to be here, I would pick, next year, I'd pick Jam, Justice, Richard, and I guess AK Deer. Daniel, I think, and Kevin Riley's really good. I know it's tough, but that's a lot of running backs. These guys want to play. I would hate to lose Justice Haynes or Richard Young, just as you guys. Those would be significant losses. If Justice Haynes somehow hits the transfer portal, that's major. We're going live. That's major news. Same thing. Richard Young's would be a blow, especially if these guys go in the SEC somewhere else. You want to deal with Richard Young for 25 carries? No. So that's the running back room. All right. This is the tight end room right now for 2024. So you're going to lose 3 tight ends. That's why you have Luke Haas coming in here from Arkansas, taking a look at what the tight end room will look like. Well, this is 2024. Okay. Danny Lewis just hit the transfer portal on Monday. Robbie Oots out to the NFL. CJ Dupree out to the NFL. Josh Cuevas coming back. 2025, here's your tight end room. Josh Cuevas, Jay Lindsey, Ty Lockwood, Caleb Edwards, and Marshall Pritchett. As you can see, you need a transfer there. You do. I think Jay Lindsey, if you know anything about him, I think he'll be similar to Robbie Oots. Not as big, but he'll be kind of that H-back type player. That's just my assessment of him. I've told you, I like the 2 tight ends coming in. I don't know how quickly they'll be able to develop, but Marshall Pritchett, I could even see him playing wide receiver. Max, thank you, man. But yes, see, Henry and Max have watched film. If you want some extra credit for some homework, watch Marshall Pritchett's highlight film. Caleb Edwards is really solid and capable, but I don't think a lot of people know about Marshall Pritchett. He was committed to North Carolina. I think he might have even been a North Carolina legacy. His father might have went there or something like that. I can't remember. But he's very talented. William says, I think it's negative to talk about Alabama football players going in the portal. You might call them out and just make them leave. No, I think, because I've heard that before. Players are going to leave because they get different options in terms of money. There is zero impact on what this small YouTube channel does to the players. The players are going to leave because the outside entities and their parents see NIL deals and they get frustrated, just like every single player and all the parents in high school. They get mad if their son or daughter doesn't play, right? And in college, it's the same thing except 10 times worse. And now you have the agents being like, "Hey, your son's not playing. Ole Miss is telling us that we can get $500,000 to him right now if you hit the transfer portal and he will play." It's crazy. I know. And it is unfortunate that we have to talk about college football and college athletics in this light, but this is how it is now. Think about what happened this morning. AJ Gymnasta, do you think he went to BYU really for overall coaching? They got a good coach and they got a good program. But come on, Nate Oates is like the guy. But they got outbid. Bryce Underwood, if Alabama would have offered him what? If they would have been like, we're going to give you $16 million to Michigan's, whatever. It's a bidding war. And there's just this is where we're at. It's free agency. Nicole, what's up? I see you inside the comment box. She says, facts, Kyle. I just told someone this morning today about student athletes. That's the thing. It's just, and the way that we look at it is like looking at the room, and players want to play. And there's no, and the thing about it is you don't have to sit and wait anymore when you transfer if you transfer within this transfer portal. Remember a couple years ago, like 5 years ago, if you transferred, you had to sit out an entire season. Man. Here's the Alabama wide receiver room right now, and there's a lot to go over here. You have 3 transfers, and then Cole Adams on the far right is injured. Now, I know there's a lot of wide receivers that aren't listed for next year, so I'm going to show that right now. So this is 2025. Oh, we still don't. Oh, here we go. This is the graphic I was looking for. So this is your 2025 wide receiver room. I'll go full screen on this so you can see it a little bit better. Jeremy Bernard, we don't know if he goes to the NFL or if he comes back. Maybe we can put like a green stamp and say like stay or go ? I don't know. NFL. How about NFL? Yeah, Jay Beck, I saw that. That's cool. Matt B. Greg does good work, man. I saw we saw that, man. He does good work. Jeremy Bernard, I don't know if he'll stay or go. Ryan Williams, he'll be a sophomore. Emmanuel Henderson, excuse me, he'll be a senior. Rico Scott will be a sophomore. Cole Adams will be a redshirt sophomore. Jaron Hamilton, Jalen Hell. I would imagine that you could probably put on Jalen Hell, you could probably put redshirt sophomore because he didn't play this year. So we'll put redshirt sophomore on him. Oh, and then good eyes. And we need Bubba Hampton too. Bubba Hampton was a freshman this year. So yeah, we'll get Bubba Hampton added. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Lom Vito, thank you. We'll get Bubba Hampton added as soon as possible. He was another guy. He came in a couple times. He's another slot type wide receiver. Yeah, there you go. NFL. That looks good. And then you could put Bubba Hampton right after or right next to Amari Jefferson, and then scoot our 2 new wide receivers to the right. That would look great. Hard to be upset though about this wide receiver room because look, even if Alabama doesn't get NC State wide receiver coming in, KZ Concepcion, this room is solid, especially if Jeremy Bernard stays. A lot of those guys. I mean, look, that Jalen Hell, that guy's, he's it. When he's healthy, he will be on the field. And then I would also say on this wide receiver graphic, Amari Jefferson will be a redshirt freshman because he redshirted this year.
Sorry, Hale was redshirt sophomore. Is that what you said?
Yeah, redshirt sophomore because he didn't play this season. Okay. And then Jefferson will be a redshirt freshman. Mm-hmm. And then, Hale will be a redshirt sophomore. There you go. And then all we need to this graphic is Bubba Hampton. Yeah, and then we're good to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks good. A lot of talent there. Yeah, and see, for those of you that know about Jalen Hale, coming in this season, man, he would have played this season. I don't know if he would have been another guy that didn't get touches or whatever, but trust me, you don't get this KC player, you'll get Jalen Hale. Bama Red, I'm kind of wondering about Marshall Pritchett if he does go, if he does play wide receiver as well. I don't know. It would be nice to have Brock Bowers, or if Pritchett turns into Brock Bowers, I don't know. And then and then we just saw while we're on show that you have A.K. Gilbert hit the portal. I don't know if you guys want him or be interested in him. He's physically impressive, but he could, kind of sometimes in the locker room, I think that's where some things might exist. Yeah, Todd is talking about Casey. I saw on On3, Todd, that he's the number 2 transfer portal target overall. And Pusha is talking about Kelby Collins. We'll talk about him tomorrow on the show. Rich, are you saying hell no to Eric Gilbert? All right. Okay. Here's the offensive line, how it looked this year. Caden Proctor, Tyler Booker, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, Elijah Pritchett, and Wilcom Formby. You also, Geno Vandermark played a pretty good amount as well. He's not listed on this graphic, but, he was a transfer from Michigan State. But he swapped in, from time to time with Jaden Roberts. I have to keep looking at my phone because I have all these notifications turned on for these transfers. Brock is saying KC will transfer to Bama, Kyle. He just fits DeBoer's system. I could 100% see that. I think that would be a huge first addition in the transfer portal. So remember, look, the guys who have left so far, it kind of stings a little bit, but KC would be a fantastic addition, A+ addition, no doubt about it. Here's the offensive line for 2025. Again, I'm gonna need your guys' eyeballs here in terms of looking at maybe some omissions, okay? And we're looking at all these graphics, and we cook up all this stuff in house, so a lot to go over. So here's the offensive line, what it could look like in 2025. Caden Proctor, he has to come back. He's only a sophomore this season, so all the graduation years should reflect. Parker Brailsford, redshirt junior. You got to think Jaden Roberts comes back, right? He didn't have the season that we thought he would have. Bama Mark, what's up, man? I like the tight end too. Lucas, I think I would be excited if Bama got him. Elijah Pritchett, Wilcom Formby, those guys clearly have to develop. Olas Allen, right? He'll be a redshirt sophomore. Joseph Ionita, I would imagine Ionita's a center. Rock Montgomery, center as well, probably backup center. Casey Poe, a lot of people really like him. I would think that Casey Poe, I had to check on him if he would be a redshirt freshman. T, will you write that one down? Casey Poe, redshirt freshman, ? William Sanders, and then Geno Vandermark next year will be a redshirt senior. And then you have Michael Carroll coming in, Micah DeBose, and then Mal Waldrop. Mal Waldrop in that photo looks like he's like 10 years old.
He does, right?
Right? I think we might need a new photo on him. So there's your offensive line. How excited are about, like, from a scale of 1 to 10, from what you've seen right here, like, how you feeling about the offensive line? 1 to 10. And we'll do defense tomorrow. these graphics are always a work in progress. We're doing like the fine detail. Oh, that's interesting, Todd, with Jatavius Sanders. Yeah, I could see that then. I don't know how I feel about look, let's see. You got 3 starters coming back. Michael Carroll, a 5-star. You really don't have a right tackle that I feel excited about. Geno Vandermark is definitely great off the bench. Continue to see development from Casey Poe. I think Michael Carroll. Has anybody seen... Oh, the arrows mean that those guys were transfers. So I know it's weird because we have a transfer with Caden Proctor. We didn't know what to do because he did transfer. He did go to Iowa, and then he came back. So we just put a transfer thing on him because he did transfer back. And like Parker Brailsford is another transfer. Oh, and I guess we need to put a transfer on Geno Vandermark too. Defensive line's ready?
Yeah, just not the rest of the defense.
Okay, we'll give you a sneak peek at the defensive line. I don't know. I don't think this group's complete yet until we get a right tackle. Really, Lance? I know exactly what you mean. The Viking was playing left guard in garbage time, so Olas out. Are you talking about Ionita? Yeah, Cook is asking if Carroll's a guard. Look, I'll refer to you guys on this too. Do you think with Michael Carroll, do you think that there's any way that Michael Carroll could play tackle based on his skill set? I haven't watched enough, close film of him in that situation. I know he's athletic enough. I know when Evan Neal got here, he played guard when he was really a tackle. Could you theoretically have Caden Proctor left tackle? Let's see. I guess could you put Geno at left guard, Parker Brailsford at center, Jaden at right guard, and then Michael Carroll at tackle? I don't know. I don't think Jaden Roberts could play tackle. I don't know. Oh, Jackson Lloyd. We need Jackson Lloyd 2T on the offensive line. He's a freshman, a true freshman. Good eyes. Thanks, Caleb.
Nick Bowling just gifted 5 memberships.
Oh, cool. I'll give him a shout out. Hey, Nick Bowling with 5 fan funderships. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. Building up the community. I think it's like $2.99 to subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate all the contributions. Thank you so much. And we'll get Jackson Lloyd. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, and I think we can look at. Do we still have? I don't think we have Ben Trade on here because he left.
McVay either because he transferred.
Yeah, and Miles McVay is out too.
It was for next year.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we have an early look at the defensive line. Again, these are all work in progress, so we'll continue to tighten it up. And thanks for the comments inside the feed, inside the comment box. So here's a look at the defensive line. You have Tim Keenan, Tim Smith. Oh, yeah, so this is this year. Yeah. Jaheim Otis out. Hunter Osborne hit the transfer portal. Tim Keenan comes back, right? What do you think, fam? This is we get a little taste of the defensive line. We still got to work on the bandit position, the wolf, inside linebacker, corners, safeties.
There's another graphic for next year's defensive line.
Yeah. Other than this one?
Yeah.
I think I just see this one, T.
There. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I might be on delay.
So here's a look at the defensive line for next year. Let me ask you, does Tim Keenan come back? I think he does, right? Lance wants him to move on. Country Life is saying that he could enter the draft. Tim Smith. Oh, Tim Smith will be gone, T. You got to remove him. Yeah. So remove Tim Smith. James Smith is a hell of a player. Damon Payne's very good. Edric Hill, Vega, Beeman, London Simmons. You need help here. You need a transfer here. Unless this Steve Mbua, unless that young man could come with it and but you need help here. This is a high area of concern to me, actually. I love James, but I think you need a lot of depth. And I don't. Some of these younger guys, I think they're still in development. Steve Mbua could maybe be, could be a rise, but I don't know. I think you need a transfer. You need a transfer here, 100%. Yeah, and so interesting point. So when you look at this, the defensive line, there's also like D tackles, right, which you're probably looking at right here, but you're also looking at the bandit position. And again, we don't have a bandit position graphic updated for next year, but here's what it looks like right now. So the bandit position, so Todd, then Colby, oh yeah, you're right. So Todd, you're talking Cavante Henry. He would be a bandit position player, I would imagine. Because here's what it looks like for the bandit. Jamarian Lathan, he'll be gone. LT Overton, you got to think he leaves as well. Cavante Henry coming in. We'll have that graphic updated tomorrow. Keon Keeley, maybe that's his year. Jordan Renard, he's a baller. Menace to Sports is saying Williams is in the portal. No. That would be that it's a menace. The guy just got a tat. Did you see his tat? Yeah, so this is important what Todd just said. I would stick to stay off the face. There's a Facebook, these Facebook sites are creating fake news. I would stick to Charlie Potter, Tony Tsoukalas, Mike Rodak, Andrew Bone. Yeah, Nick Kelly. Oh, Matt Zenitz. Oh, and Hayes, of course. Yeah. Those are like the guys. If you don't hear it from those guys, then it's those are. Yeah, I mean, and obviously Pate does like high level stuff, but doesn't really those are like the news breakers. But it's the Facebook site. I say this all the time. They got Pee Wee. So be careful out there. But yeah, we'll dive in more to the defense tomorrow because we still gotta. These graphics are work in progress. But as I opened up with the show, look, a lot of this, and I get it. Sometimes it sucks because you're like, man, you have to pay for these players and all this stuff. This is the world of college athletics, and this is where we're at. AJ Dinasta goes to BYU, gets coined there. Bryce Underwood gets coined there. Is Alabama broke? No, right? Dylan, what's up, man? So that must have been a big account to tweet something like that out. Like fake news? Nah, we'd have like a whole live thing going on. We'd have a fire burning, but no, Ryan Williams is not hit the transfer portal. Yeah, that's not true.
Became a member.
Hey, Brandon, thank you so much for becoming a fan funder. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. So know this, Alabama isn't broke. Alabama will get their own guys. Casey Concepcion out of NC State is visiting, just to recap. Okay. And you also have he's a number 2 transfer portal target. So if you're just jumping in, let me recap for a couple people. 2023, he was the ACC Player of the Year, the Freshman Player of the Year, 64 receptions, 767, and 10 touchdowns. Similar kind of to what Ryan Williams did this year. And in 2024, 53 receptions for 460 and 6 touchdowns this past year. Fantastic highlights that you'll absolutely like. And then you also have Luke Haas, who's in. He's a number 3 tight end currently in the transfer portal. I really like his highlight tapes. I think he'd be more athletic than C.J. Dupree, and I like C.J. Dupree. I get it. He dropped a couple passes, but I wasn't mad about him. I liked him. And then according to you guys, we also have Kelby Collins, who's out of Gardendale, who's at Florida. He will be visiting as well. So I have 3 guys that are visiting. And thanks for updating me on Kelby Collins. Robert, what's up, man? I see you coming from Ohio. Thank you so much for being here. During this busy time, we have news as it happens. So that means videos that are created as news happens. And then in the evening time, really for these, next couple weeks, we've been going live in the evening time as well. We found that, 7:30 fits for the schedule. We might come back to kind of recap the day as things happen. And of course, if there is like massive news, we will be here live. We also have a Facebook channel that is very active. Bama Football on YouTube. If you search it on Facebook, we post content there. So, but breaking news, we bring right here to Bama Football on YouTube. So I hope you guys have enjoyed our morning segment. And please stay tuned to Bama Football on YouTube as news happens. And please hit the subscription bell on these videos so you are notified when we do go live or if there is breaking news. We'd really appreciate that. So hope that you guys enjoyed the morning segment. Kyle Henderson, we got T up in the house producing. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And we will be back as news happens. And I hope that you guys enjoyed the show. Jay Diggs is asking, Keon Keeley at Bandit, what do you think about that? I think with Keon Keeley,
hours yet?
I think with Keon Keeley, it could be either be one of two things. Number one, it's like a continued work in progress, or it could be an experiment that just didn't work, and this dude's about to hit the transfer portal and shed the 30 pounds that he lost and play outside linebacker somewhere else. So, I don't know. I think it's either one or two things. So it might be a work in progress. Remember, the dude just started playing the bandit position. Freddie Roach had a lot of positive things to say about him. I stood next to him. The guy is he's absolutely incredible athlete. So will he play or not? Mason, what's up? Alabama will be 8-4 or 7 or 5. No, I don't think so because we'll show you the schedule real quick. Even if they had like a terrible season, I think the schedule works out pretty well for them. Let's see, 2025 Alabama football. And it's not in detail. We don't know where the teams are, at on the schedule. I saw this yesterday, and I was like, damn, they're playing Florida State. Like, I thought it was like a hella light schedule to open up. But it was in order like that. Yeah, I thought this was in order, but it's not. This isn't in order, so viewer discretion advised. I thought it was yesterday, and I was like, oh, damn, Florida State. I was like, oh, my goodness. But it's not. But you do have Florida State on the road, Tallahassee. Then you have Louisiana Monroe. And I think General Booty just hit the transfer portal too. And so did Tyler Van Dyke.
That name is so vile.
I know. Eastern Michigan's also on the schedule. Hey, that's a nice date. You'll be hosting LSU, hosting Oklahoma, hosting Tennessee. Oh, those are some redemption games right there. Look at that. So how about this? Oklahoma, the 3 teams that beat Alabama last season, they're all coming to Bryant-Denny, where Coach Kalen DeBoer was undefeated at home. Wow, interesting.
That is interesting.
Right? And then you have Auburn. Ooh. This is the difficult part right here. We don't know when these games will be, but look, at Auburn, Georgia, at Missouri. But yeah, Florida State is the first game. We do know that for sure. All right. Appreciate you guys, fam. Hope you guys have a great Monday. As news happens, like breaking news, we got you covered right here at Bama Football on YouTube. Please take a minute to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys becoming fan funders and overall just supporting the channel and interacting with us inside the comment box. I appreciate the heads up on Kelby Collins. So 3 visitors to recap. You got Casey Concepcion coming in. You have Luke Haas, who's a tight end from Arkansas. And then you have Kelby Collins, who is a defensive line player out of Florida. Those are the players that are visiting this weekend. As news happens, we got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Waylon, I see you, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of your Tuesday. Back as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a great rest of your morning and catch up with you guys